Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. All of our sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube and tagged on Facebook. I hate when that happens. Little coat, little hanger thing. You know you're taking something long sleeve out of your closet for the first time in months when you have the little hanger mark on there. I hate that. Anyway. All right. What's up, y'all? Good morning. How about your Fighting Tigers of LSU? It is going to be a rare occurrence when we sit here on a football Friday with LSU going to Florida or playing a big-time SEC opponent, and your playoff hopes are still alive, as we've all discussed. And on the thumbnail and the lead, I'm going to talk LSU basketball. Now, there's going to be a time where we talk plenty of LSU basketball because, as I've told you, I think this is a team that'll hear their name called on Selection Sunday. I think they are an NCAA. Said that before, even last night. I do think this is an NCAA tournament team. But man, last night was a little stunning. If you didn't watch, and that candidly, I had Thursday Night Football on the TV and I had the basketball game on my phone. So I was watching Thursday Night Football and keeping up with the basketball game. LSU absolutely steamrolled Kansas State. And keep in mind, that's a Kansas State team that over the last 3 years has been really good at home. Under Coach Jerome Tang, that is only their 5th loss in 36 games on their home floor. Like, that is a good Kansas State program. Now, Kansas State did lose 11 players off last year's team, so they're a new group, learning to play together, all that stuff, and that's kind of the nature of the portal era, right? But so is LSU. I mean, you brought in the 3 guards, including Cam Carter from Kansas State, who was awesome yesterday, by the way. Jordan Sears had 15, 7, and 5. He continues to be probably your most complete player. Jai Bailey. I've told you about Damian Collins. He was a former, I think Damian Collins was a 5-star when he committed to Kentucky. When he committed to Kentucky, he's long and athletic. Collins gave you 12 points. He had a huge dunk. Great rim protector. First time we saw Corey. Actually, Corey Chess has only played 3 minutes this year, and he grabbed 13 rebounds. Like, you want to talk about what your role is? Your role is go get rebounds. Come off the bench and go rebound. Golly, so impressive. Remember, this is the 3rd time they played each other. 3rd year in a row, LSU and Kansas State have played each other. Remember, 2 years ago, they played each other in the Caymans, and that was the game where LSU had the bucket at the buzzer, and they waved it off. And then last year they played in the PMAC, and Kansas State. I don't know the final score. Let me see if we can find it. Yeah, Kansas State won last year, 75-60 at the PMAC. So, anyway, I mean, I'm waiting for our guy Craig Dugat to be here this morning because he's going to be booting up or riding with the Madman McMahon. But I'm here for it, man. So, what a win. I mean, what a performance, and I think hopefully what this illustrates is Matt McMahon's a really good coach, and he just had to weather the storm, and he did. He had to weather the storm of the looming sanctions, potential postseason ban, all that stuff, had to get through it to where he could recruit. And now he has. And oh, by the way, this week he inked the number 4 signing class in the country. LSU got the number 4 signing class in the country. Had a 5-star on campus this past weekend. We coming, as a former LSU coach once said. All right, y'all. The other big news, of course, is Bryce Underwood. Michigan reportedly, according to On3, offered $10.5 million. I'll continue to say the same thing. All the reasons we've talked about a million times why Underwood loves LSU. The 10.5, I think you need to break that down. 10.5 over 4 years. That comes out to about 2.6, 2.7 per. And nobody thinks he's going to play 4 years. So really you're talking about, I think it's 7, 8, which is a lot of money. Don't misunderstand. I'm not hand waving $7.8 million. But the difference between that and what LSU is offering isn't significant enough to make him move off his spot of thinking long term, right? And that's been Bryce Underwood's point all along. Where can I go to get developed? That's going to give me the best chance to make a $40 million rookie contract and a $400 million second contract in the NFL. When you start thinking about it in those terms and you go, oh, Michigan's the fifth worst passing team in college football. Okay. Yeah, I'll go to LSU and make seven figures still and have a better chance to make more down the line. All right, let's say good morning, y'all. Tiger Diver, good morning. Spurge, good morning. Tyson or Paul. Man, it's hard to pick 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Because, Jake Paul is a fighter. I mean, he's got professional fights and he's young and Tyson's 60. Tyson looks great though, man. And I wonder if Tyson's skill and experience will serve him well. I would love to see Mike Tyson win this fight. What's the see what the odds are on this fight? My guess is Paul is going to be favored in the fight. He's 30 years younger, let's see. Where is it? Did I have odds on this fight on DraftKings? Oh, God. Sorry, I'm trying to find. What a weekend. And we got John Jones and Stipe Miocic tomorrow as well. You're a fight fan. It's a good weekend. Oh, well. Oh, well. I bet. Well, let me just Google it. I was looking on DraftKings. I didn't see it there. Let's see. Let's see. Paul is minus 210. So Tyson's plus 165 underdog. So, I mean, Paul's a pretty significant favorite. It makes sense. I mean, Tyson's 60 years old. But I would love to see Tyson win. Wendell, good morning. Hey, Bradley, good morning. Christian, good morning. I had a great meeting yesterday with Christian over at Avid Inspection Specialist. Met over at the parish office. Great to see you yesterday. As we tell you, Avid is a great sponsor with Christian there of Scone and Tea. We are back tomorrow, or excuse me, next week for Scone and Tea, by the way. I know there were some people who were looking for us yesterday, but T-Bob was emceeing the Dreams Come True of Louisiana Kids on the Catwalk event. So I know it was unfortunate, but just we had Halloween, and then last week T-Bob had these two Thursdays he had prior commitments. He had last week it was a thing with Jake at the the Queen Casino and the sports book, and then this week it was Dreams Come True. But those things have been on the books for months before we started doing Scone and Tea. So apologies we missed. We'll be back. And again, if you need a any type of inspection for your home or your commercial building, give Christian over at Avid a call. Devin, good morning. Hope the Tigers don't give up tomorrow. Keep fighting. Yeah, man, they got a lot to play for, man. Hunter, good morning. Lagway's playing Florida by a million. Jacob, good morning, Uncle Scone. Should we worry about Underwood? No. And this is one of those Uncle Scone moments where I need to hey, sit. Come on, come sit with Uncle Scone. Let's talk for a second here. Listen. I just kind of broke down the I just broke down the money, right? How it's distributed. The other thing to keep in mind also is revenue share. This is what's going to be really interesting. So revenue share is likely going into place. Everyone's preparing for it to go into place in 2025. Right now, the collectives have to fundraise to distribute that money. In 2025, rev share will cover the majority of that. So LSU could be saying to Bryce Underwood, hey, here's what we'll start you with. Here's our total package. You play better ball, scale, whatever. But when revenue share comes in and you're sharing whatever it is, like 22% of your revenue with your athletes, yes, you can weight it more heavily toward your starting quarterback who's awesome and deserves to be paid accordingly. So you have that conversation with him and you're transparent about it. Charlie Dog, good morning. Brian, saw your girl Wednesday. Yo, I feel like I need a Marlboro Red cigarette. You talking about Crystal over at Restored Motions, no doubt, man. I tell you all the time, go in with an open mind. It's unlike Restored Motions is not a massage. It's not a relaxation massage. Like she is going to, like, you're going to need an Epsom salt bath and some Advil after it. Like, but you're gonna, whatever, she is gonna find the root cause of whatever pain you're in, and she's gonna get you right. Trey Fisher, good morning. What up, Fish? Taylor, good morning. On my way to Gainesville from Charlotte. Okay. Hoping for a Tiger victory. Yeah, man. Brian, good morning from somewhere in Massachusetts. Okay. What a great win. The basketball team, no doubt. Ryan, but you got to say flat out, Kelly needs to get aggressive and tamper in the portal this offseason to jump the hump with young talent. So hold on. You can't say that LSU hasn't been aggressive in the portal. Year one, they took okay. Jaden Daniels, Noah Kane, Kyron Lacey, Miles Frazier, Tremont Shorts, forgot about him. 5, Mekhi Wingo 6, Colby Fields 7, Jarpernot Converse 8, Greg Brooks 9, Joe Fouché 10, Mekhi Garner 11, Seven Banks 12, West Weeks 13, Jay Bramblett 14, Slade Roy 15. And I might be missing someone, but there's 15 transfers Kelly's first year. Like, he had to build a roster. Then then they took Logan Diggs, Aaron Anderson, Mason Lunsford, the offensive lineman. Jordan Jefferson, Paris Shand, Ovi Agofu, Braden Swinson, Jalen Lee, Omar Spates, Denver Harris, Zy Alexander, J.K. Johnson, Andre Sam. Like, you can't say they haven't been aggressive. And then this year, like, they tried to go heavy on defensive line. They missed. They got outbid. So I don't know that it's fair to say, like, they're not using the portal. Like, they're not going to do what Ole Miss did or what Florida State did. They're not going to go have the number one portal class spending the most money in the portal. He is, in my opinion, building it in a sustainable way through high school recruiting and development, and then supplementing with the portal. Now, you're going to go into this portal cycle, and you're going to lose 4 starting offensive linemen. I would really like for you to go get some more starting offensive line experience. I would really like it if you could go get because you're going to lose Kyron Lacey and CJ Daniels. I think Mason Taylor probably goes pro, but we'll see. Like, I would really like to, we'll see what happens with Hilton and Aaron Anderson, but like, I would really like it if you would go get a receiver with some real experience. So again, I don't want him to go get 15 guys in the portal. What I want is for Whit Weeks to become an All-American next year. And I want Jacoby and Guillory to come back and have a great season. And I want Deshaun Womack and Gabe Relaford to take big steps in their career. And I want, PJ Woodland to be an SEC starting caliber cornerback. And same for Ashton Stamps. I want to see Deshaun Spears and Kylan Jackson and Javen Toviano play like starters in the SEC. I want to see Xavier Atkins and Devon Keys make big steps, and West Weeks come back in a senior year and be a good piece of their rotation as well. Like, I want to see the guys that you've recruited and developed into great players. And spots where you're going to be thin, especially thin on experience, like the offensive line, maybe at receiver, go get a guy. But I don't want to go ham on one portal class, then have a bunch of guys you recruited transfer out, and then the following year, you're right back in the same spot. It's like, do you trust the process they're going through, which is to patiently build through recruiting, develop, supplement in the portal? Because the flip side is, you could go pop a year like Florida State, and then what happens the next year when all those guys are gone? Cajun Country needs some help. Somebody at work was comparing Coach O's first year to the current year. I disagreed. The more I thought about it, kind of made sense in my wavering. Coach O's first year. Well, in Ogeron's first year, and as I've reminded everybody, he inherited a good situation. They got blown out by Mississippi State and lost to Troy. Lost to Troy. I mean, that wasn't exactly good. Different circumstance, though, I would say. I think this year feels more to me like 2018 did, where you got shut out by Bama. You lost at Florida. Burrow turnovers, made you pay. You had some nice wins, like Miami when you beat them was a top 10 team. You beat Georgia, which that's kind of maybe equates to the Ole Miss win this year. Their 18 was one of those years where you had some nice wins. You had a good team. You just weren't there yet. And I feel like that's this team. Now, the big difference, obviously, in 19 is, Burrow went kaboom. So, boy, that'd be fun if Nuss came back next year and went kaboom. Thomas, good morning. Jingle Gate Day 5. Where's that locked on shirt available? Go Tigers, beat the Gators. So by the way, Thomas, so Drew is sick, so he's home from school today. So I'm just letting him sleep. So so I can go a little longer today, guys. I don't have to run out of here. As you tell, it's already 7:50. I don't have to run out of here. Here you go, Thomas. I'll give you Jingle Gate. Here's the jingle.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Building.
All right. Please smash the like button if you would, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being there with us. Where am I? Here we go. Weston, good morning from the duck blind. Blaze, good morning. Dane, good morning. Plan to be at Don once. All right, Dane, I'll bring your hat. Let me know. I have white or purple. So this is last year's hat with the Tiger logo. This year, they've got the 100 Year of Tiger Stadium logo here. And the difference is they've got the white front and they got the purple front. So it's the trucker hat with the white netting and the white bill. But no, it's... Yeah, they have this with the 100-year logo. And then they have one that still has the white netting, but I think it's purple bill, purple front. So I got them both. Just let me know. Dale, Tigers with ball handling skills and length 1 through 5. It's very refreshing. So true. You got a point guard and you have rim protection. They look like a basketball team. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Thomas Lamont. Okay, Thomas, good morning. Morning from Lafayette General, where just welcome my daughter Miriam to the world. Love that, man. Awesome, Thomas. Cheers. Hope Miriam and Mama are doing great. Congrats. Love the morning Scone family growing. Congrats to you and your family on a great day, man. Cheers. Love to see that. Make defense great again. Morning, Matt. Who or what YouTube podcast is your go-to for crypto info? Used to listen to Ben Armstrong for all of his troubles. Candidly, I haven't listened to Ben in a long time, in part because of all that. Honestly, there's some really good Twitter accounts that I like to follow. And as you can imagine right now, it's really good. So, Leah Heilpern is a really good, her name is, it's LayahHeilpern. She does a really good job. My cousin put me onto her account. She does a really good job. It's funny, like I see the names, but then I forget the handles because it just kind of becomes background. Gorgon Crypto Casey is another one. Where's the guy? Max, what's his name? I'll have to find it. Anyway, like they always show up in my feed, and I know the account. Like I recognize them by their avatar, but I never look at the names and the handles. So, I'll look it up. I'll look it up for you. This is the kind of the time, especially now with the bull market starting and the bull run starting, like to be locked in. Glenn, good morning. Just I'm keeping up. We need Tennessee and Missouri to lose one more SEC game and win out. Is that accurate? No, it's not that you necessarily need Missouri to lose. I mean, yes, you do. That would help. But the game in particular that would matter would be Arkansas, Missouri, because you played Arkansas and Bama played Missouri. So that would help with that, with the tiebreaker. So like I will update that each week. What you need to see for LSU's perspective for each week over the next two, or the next 2 weeks after this one. But yeah, this weekend, obviously you're pulling for Georgia to beat Tennessee and you're pulling for South Carolina to beat Missouri. Those are the two things that you'd like to see happen this weekend. Jason H, good morning. Jacob, are we going to lose Underwood with that money coming in? Nope. Guru, morning, Matt. Is this Godfather territory? Nope. Michael Cook, good morning. Oh, I am way behind on comments. Morning, Matt. 2 questions. What do you think about BK can't win big games crowd when he has? Secondly, how do you deal with all the doomsday fans we have? I think every fan base has that element, and people are loud when things go wrong. The part about BK can't win big games, I mean, I said that on Monday, and I've said it plenty of times. Like, it's a fundamentally flawed argument when he's won big games. I mean, he got Notre Dame to a BCS championship in 2 college football playoffs where he got walloped by much better teams. Which is why he came here, because he has the opportunity to build a roster here that he couldn't build there. Patrick, good morning. Good morning. LSU football eve, big time win for Matt McMahon, the Tigers. We look good. Dale, hey man. Now, he said if LSU is the 14th best team, someone is winning the Natty. Bama might be the best team in college basketball, as much as I hate to say that. NATO's got everybody back from a really good team last year. But LSU, that's a reputation. That was a reputation play. LSU's much better. Like they finished 500 in the league last year. Not finishing 14th. It was just that was lazy and stupid. Devin, Brian Kelly will be LSU's head coach for the next 5 years. Just saying, yeah. I mean, he's got a guaranteed contract. Cody, that boy gone. LOL, another year with Bustmeyer. No, he's like. I don't know how many more ways I could say this for you all to understand it. Like, everybody saw that 10.5, but what that is Michigan leaking that number publicly to save face with their fan base. So they can say to their fans, hey, we tried everything. We offered him $10.5 million. We even put Connor Stallions on his high school staff. He didn't want to come here. Okay, then at least you can save face amid a 5. They're 5-5 right now. They're one of the worst offenses in the country. And the best player in the signing class is 30 minutes from your campus, and he's going to go to LSU. Well, you got to save face. How do you save face? You let everybody know what you offered. Who else is putting out their public NIL offers? Who else is doing that? Who else is publicly putting out there what they are offering recruits in NIL? I mean, it's very clear to see that's what's going on there. Ryan, morning, Matt. Michigan fans wondering why Bryce doesn't want to go there when it's simple. They didn't recruit him enough early in the process. He pivoted to LSU. Now they're desperate last minute. It's not just that. It's also that, I've told you all this, and this isn't like, this is information that I've told you all. The way you piece together truths is when you ask multiple people independent of each other, and when they say the same thing, that's when you're hitting on truths. And the truth is, Bryce Underwood thinks the Michigan man thing is kind of lame. Like, he doesn't want to stay. He doesn't want to go to Ann Arbor. He doesn't want to be a Michigan man. He doesn't want to play in an offense where they're the 5th worst passing offense in the country. He doesn't want to go to a place where they haven't developed quarterbacks. Like, I get all of that stuff from his perspective. So the only way, as I've told y'all a million times, that I think that changes is if somebody dumps the Godfather offer on him. And I'm telling you, 10.5 over 4 years, averaging out to 2.6 per, ain't the Godfather offer. If someone came in and offered him 7 per, okay, now you have my attention. Instead, over 3 years, that's going to be $7.8 million. And the gap between that and what LSU's offering isn't significant enough for him to go, yeah, I'm going to pass on all the other things to go to Michigan. Patrick, feeling good about tomorrow. We should be able to do whatever we want against their defense if we show up and play our game and don't turn the ball over. Kelly, good morning. Wacky Chris, good morning. Michigan offering a recruit who hasn't given them the time of day. 10.5 million is a desperation move. Bad look. So I wrote a column at LouisianaSports.net yesterday, and the headline was something along the lines of $10.5 million worth of egg on Michigan's face. So I'm not just telling you something new. And by the way, last night, Bryce Underwood, there was a graphic on Instagram that said Bryce Underwood set to decline Michigan's offer, and Bryce Underwood shared it on his Instagram story. Now, he later deleted it, but he shared that initially on his Instagram story. Brian Ashcraft, his class coming in. He has his impressive. Brett, good morning. Devin, I wonder if Garrett Nussmeier stays. I'll tell you, what I've told you before is that the word is Doug Nussmeier's dad wants him to stay. We'll see what happens with the draft. I mean, Mel Kiper put out his big board yesterday, and he's still got Garrett the number 4 quarterback in the draft. Trivia, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Austin, good morning. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Oh man, I'm so far behind on these comments. Lenny Moss, where you been, man? Puncher's chance, just like you with Anthony Mackie. I got news for you, Cat. Anthony Mackie is a tiny dude. If I had actually swung at Anthony Mackie, it would have ended badly for Anthony Mackie. Now, it would have ended badly for me because his 300-pound bodyguards would have mauled me, but that would have gone badly for him initially. Quentin, good morning. Jason, rooting for Mike, but Paul probably wins it. Look at this. Chuck Sanchez. What's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? We got Lenny. We got Chuck. We got trivia here all together. Where's Cliff? Let's see. Good morning, Scone. Pulling for Tyson represents all of us old guys who feel like we still have it. BK, what's up, man? Good morning. Aaron. Sean, is Bryce Underwood that good? I mean, Sean, listen, you never know until you do, right? But I mean, the most validating thing that I saw or heard came from Ryan Clark. So Ryan coached Bryce Underwood and Harlan Berry and all with their 7-on-7 team down at that tournament in Orlando in the spring. And I'll dig up that audio today. And Ryan gushed about him, and that ain't something Marcy does lightly. He said he's the type of guy like that. Like, you hope Nussmeier goes pro because you don't want this kid to sit. He said, like, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, Underwood is better than all of them at this point, meaning as a high school senior going into college. Not to say he'll be the number one pick of the draft or anything like that. We don't know, but saying he at this point is better than all of them were at this point. He would know. Damon, good morning. Daniel, with Underwood staying firm, where does that leave Nuss? Should he come back? You say Underwood isn't coming to sit. I think, like, y'all, they're going to have those conversations. Like, you and I are having the conversations. I don't think they haven't had the conversations. So, like, I still want Nussmeier back. Like, I'm going to remind you, all y'all who are calling him trash, you're doing all the things y'all are doing right now. Y'all are the same ones celebrating him when they beat Ole Miss. Y'all are the same ones riding the Nuss bus at the beginning of the season. And y'all are the same ones that wanted Jaden Daniels bench as well. And y'all know who you are. Don't make me go get the receipts for all y'all who wanted Jaden Daniels bench. And I'm talking last year when they lost to Florida State, not even year one. Oh, let me go to year one and show you. Y'all were clamoring for Nuss 2 years ago. Brent, good morning. Jay, he's coming to BR. Meanwhile, the Gators will play like their lives depend on it, need to be locked in. Ryan, what do I mean by aggressive? Paying to play Ole Miss has an entire front line that's championship level football. Yeah, Ryan. And next year, they're all going to be gone. So you could do that. Or you could have Jacoby and Guillory back for a 6th year. You get a 5-star Dom McKinley, take a big step. By the way, conversation I had yesterday, I think LSU is going to get Jakeem Stewart. I don't know that should come across as a massive surprise to some, but like, I know he's from New Orleans and all that stuff we think, but I mean, the fact that he's taking the visits going like they are very confident they're getting Jakeem Stewart. I want Deshaun Womack to play like a 5-star in his 3rd year. I want to see Gabe Relaford and Kalaj Cobbins step up and pop off. You know what I mean? Like, this is the approach you've taken. You said, let's go recruit great high school players, develop them, and let them become great players for us. And you're starting to see it. Look at Whit Weeks. Look at Ashton Stamps. Like, look at some of these young guys who are growing up and getting better, man. Look, Caden Durham. It's just hard to be patient. Charlie, good morning. Spurs, short fight with 3-minute rounds. Think Mike needs a knockout by the third or it's Paul's fight. Colin, good morning. Bubba, good morning. Ryan. Lou. LSU needs another Jamal Adams at safety. Safety's been terrible for so long. I mean, in 19, you had Grant Delpit, who was awesome, and Jacoby Stevens. So you were good then. And even in Kelly's first year, bringing in Brooks and Fouché, those were good SEC players. If you had those two guys, and I understand Greg Brooks' health situation notwithstanding, but I mean, if you had Brooks and Fouché on this team, you're dramatically better. I mean, it's one of the reasons you decided to play Sage Ryan and Jordan Gilbert back there is to have the veteran presence, and it just hasn't gone well. So you need the young, talented guys to get more mature and in a hurry. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Deborah, good morning. Sean, good morning. Irfan Sayad, good morning. Thomas, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Drew's just a little under the weather. He'll be good. A little cold, just the gunk everybody's got. Rex, good morning. Seth, morning, Matt. Going to my first NFL game when the Commanders come to NOLA. Hopefully you're wearing the black and gold. Gotcha, Jason. Will do. Okay, gotcha. Colin, any Gamecoin update? Yeah, man. So platform is launched. Thank you for asking. So the platform is launched. The platform is called On Fire Athletes. Sorry, I had to crack my neck. I'll post it in here. And all of the socials have changed as well. So thank you for asking, by the way. So if you're looking at the old, they made the announcement, but if you're looking at the old Gamecoin socials, you're not going to get info there. Everything has been moved to On Fire Athletes. So Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all that stuff, go to On Fire Athletes. That's the platform. And so Gamecoin is the utility token on the platform, meaning you can use Gamecoin to buy the digital sports cards. There's also another component as it's continued to evolve is the AR component of the augmented reality of a physical sports card. So let's say hypothetically, you have a son who plays baseball, a daughter who plays volleyball, whatever. They can create their own digital card that they can trade with their friends on their phones. But on certain packages, you will also get a physical card whereby you can upload a highlight to that card. So let's say you have a video of your daughter playing volleyball or basketball and hitting a big three, or your son playing football and catching a touchdown pass. You can upload the video onto the card. So whenever you open up your phone, the AR component, you will see the card come to life. It's friggin' incredible. It took a long time to get to the point, and took a lot of iterations and twists and turns with crypto and with regulation and with finding developers that could finish the platform. And ultimately what David Mailer did was he went and bought a development company and said, finish this, because the developers he was hiring, it was just taking too long. They kept having missteps. And so he said, forget it, went and bought a company and basically used the company he bought to finish his platform, which is incredible. So check it out. And the other thing too, is there is a component where you can use a fiat currency. You can use a credit card, but what they've written into the tokenomics is if somebody uses a credit card, they will still take 20% of that purchase, buy Gamecoin, and burn it. So it'll increase the liquidity in the Gamecoin pool, and with burning it, it will reduce the total circulating supply, so it'll create even more scarcity and value. So I love it, man. I love how it looks. I love what it is. The best thing you can do if you hold Gamecoin is to tell people, especially people who would be interested in creating or collecting those digital cards, about On Fire Athletes, to go use the platform. Jason, Austin, Matt, it seems weird to me. Schools are technically not supposed to use NIL for recruiting, but here Michigan is doing it out in the open. Everybody's doing it. And the reason, Austin, is because at times where the NCAA has tried to peg schools for it, they've gone to court and lost. Mr. Wallace, good morning. Woke up another day of Dennis Allen not being the head coach of the Saints. Daniel, with Ricky Collins and Colin Hurley still awaiting their playing time, most likely signing Underwood and Nussmeier coming back. What do you think of the quarterback room? I think they're deep and talented, and you always want as many guys in that room as you can. Somebody is going to transfer. Always happens. I don't know who and when, why, or where, or how, but I think it's naive to think that won't happen. So we'll just let it shake how it does. Dale still following. Yeah, someone asked me about Ben earlier. That was so. If you don't know Ben Armstrong, he's a crypto content creator. He had a company called BitBoy Crypto. There was a lot of stuff that went down with him and the partners of that. They forced him out. He kind of went off the deep end. He still creates content, and he's very smart and knows crypto a lot. But candidly, I mean, yes, I still follow Ben on all the stuff, just not as closely as I did. But candidly, also, there's not a lot to follow in the 3-year bear market. You know what I mean? It's it's basically buy low and hodl, which is what I did for 3 years. I just had auto buys on things like Bitcoin and XRP and and Ethereum and ADA and projects that I really like, and I just I was dollar cost averaging. And so you build your bags during the bear market, you buy low, and now it should be a lot of fun to watch it run. Debo the God, LSU screwed Debo. Antron, watch fight tonight. I think I am, man. I think Jake Paul wins it. It's hard to go for a 60-year-old against a 28-year-old, whatever it is. And Jake Paul is favored. And Jake Paul's a good boxer. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's not champion level fighter. And in his prime, Mike Tyson would have beaten Jake Paul in 12 seconds. But I'm hopeful for Tyson. Daniel, U of H, still a great team in college basketball. My pick to win it this year. Bill, dude's crazy for turning down that kind of money. You don't know what kind of money he's getting from LSU, Bill. That's the other caveat here. And again, 10.5 isn't a 10.5 lump sum. It's 2.7 a year over 4 years. And if you're not planning on being there for 4 years, it's 7.8 total over 3. And that's before taxes. And so now you start to look and go, well, what really is falling to the bottom line? And is it worth my risking my long-term generational wealth possibility for a short-term NIL grab? Some may say yes. The Locked On shirt. So they send us, the Locked On Network sends their host stuff from time to time, and so they sent us that shirt. So if you go watch today's Locked On episode that's live right now, I have a long sleeve Locked On t-shirt. That's what Thomas is talking about. Marky Mark, let's see. Good morning. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, man. Mike, what does 10.5 million do to the NIL market? Shirt raises the ask of the next guy. You see, and then Meadows. I do think Meadows is the guy in this class that you got to sweat. Meadows and Mike Tyler are the two I've heard the most about. Meadows, I do think, ends up flipping. Maybe Michigan. Heard Miami. And he was initially interested in Notre Dame. Meadows seems like the one that you're going to lose. But the ones that, as I understand it, LSU is really committed through the collective and everything to keeping are Underwood, Pickett, and Jakeem Stewart. And it looks like those three are going to happen. Joel, Matt, should we be discouraged about coaching when LSU has played poorly in instances where they've had more time to prepare? That's not exactly the case, Joel, because they had time to prepare for Ole Miss this year and they won. And Brian Kelly, just the last 2 years against Bama coming off the bye, they lost, but they won this year coming off the bye, and they won in 2022 coming off the bye when they beat Bama. How do you think Michigan leaking is absurd? Alleged NIL offer to Bryce negatively impacts recruiting. See, I think it's part of. So I wrote the column about Michigan have an egg on their face. That's a big part of it. So now that you've put that out there, and other commits and your current roster know what you're willing to offer a player that hasn't taken a snap, it stands to reason you'd come back and say, if you're those guys, so you like I'm your starting linebacker and I can't get X, but you're going to pay a kid who's never taken a snap $10.5 million. I think it's a risky play and a desperation heave that I don't think is going to pay off. Randall, who has a better season, baseball or basketball? LSU baseball. Mike, thoughts on the UFC card? John Jones, man, always worth the price of admission. Lenny, the gang's all here. I said that because you were deathly ill that day, right? Maybe one of the first COVID cases in the U.S. Oh my God, dude. The 2019 SEC championship game was the sickest I've ever been. And I'm pretty that was December of 19. That was before COVID really got ramped here. And I'm pretty positive that I had the initial iteration of COVID before anybody was even talking about COVID. That was brutal. And then when I actually got COVID, diagnosed COVID, whatever, it was like a cold. It wasn't even bad. JD, good morning. HD Williams, Guy Mulligan. Yes, sir. Bill, Underwood will be a bust. Too much hype. Jesus. And sometimes, Bill, they're actually really good, like Leonard Fournette, when they come in with all the hype, and they have the hype for a reason. Rooney, you would think they have those conversations, but Brian Kelly hasn't talked with Sloan about helping out. Press had to give him the idea. What are you talking about? Rooney, what do you mean the press had to get helping out with what? With recruiting? Bro, you are outside of your brain if you don't think Brian Kelly is recruiting Bryce Underwood. Y'all think Brian Kelly ain't talking to Bryce Underwood? Yo, they were at dinner on Sunday. Are you crazy? Like, what do you... Tyson's going to fold the laundry Paul wore last week with one hook. Maybe. Jerry, which LSU athlete would have the largest NIL earning post 2010? Burrow. Tony, Ronald, I didn't see your pick on Florida. Thanks. Haven't done it yet. I'll do a Locked On episode. So I don't ever want to do more than 2 episodes in a day. And I would have done a Thursday evening episode specifically on the Bryce Underwood thing. And then my Friday morning episode would have been my prediction episode. But Thursday, Locked On dropped the SEC squad video. And if you're not familiar, they get like all the SEC hosts on one video and they talk about the weekend. They put it on everybody's channel. So I didn't want to, and it whatever. So I did my video yesterday morning. The squad video posted yesterday afternoon, evening. So I didn't want to then come post another video. So squad existed yesterday. This morning is the Bryce Underwood, Kelly preview, all that sort of stuff. And then I'll post one maybe later this afternoon, evening when I get home. That'll be my full prediction, which it won't get a ton of run, obviously, because they play at 2:30 on Saturday, but a little bit of a missed opportunity. But I'll do my prediction video here. Mike, is Gilbert starting this weekend? I know we're thin at safety, but he played horrible versus Bama. They all played horrible against Bama. And I would think, yes, Gilbert will start. Gilbert's also playing with a dislocated shoulder. And I think that's part of the issue he's had is every time you make a tackle, your shoulder pops out. It's hard to go try to tackle. Anyway, let's play the Deshaun's. Womack and Spears, yeah. Well, Womack needs to keep getting bigger because he's a liability against the run. But he's athletic. He can help you with pass rush. That last message didn't make any sense. I totally get what you mean. I want to see these guys develop. I think we're going to be extremely talented, very young next year. I don't know that you're going to be extremely young next year. I mean, let's just look at defense. So Deshaun Womack will be a third-year guy. Guillory will be a sixth-year guy. I'll be curious to see what they do at tackle if they go in the portal, but Suggs can come back. Washington can come back. Jalen Lee's out of eligibility, but Don McKinley will be a second-year guy. So you're going to lose Shan Swinson and Savion Jones. Womack will be one end. Relaford, possibly your other end, who will be in his second year, has played a lot this year as a freshman. Unless there's somebody I'm forgetting offhand. You'll have West and Whitweeks at linebacker. Keys and Atkins behind them. You could always go get another backer out of the portal if you need some more experience. When you look at corner, I think it feels like you're a lot like the 11 team. I'm not saying they're going to hang on. I'm not saying they're going to play at that level. What I'm saying is, if you remember 2011, it felt like those guys were a year early. Like Montgomery, Mingo, Reed, Minter, Logan, Brockers, all those guys were sophomores that year. Chris Falk, Michael Ford, Alfred Blue. You were young that year. Everyone it felt like was a year early. And all those guys were back for 2012. That's what I was thinking, man, they can go back to back and have this incredible run. And what happened ultimately, you know what happened. But I think you're going to have a combo of year 2 and year 3 guys next year. The big question is going to be offensive line. You're losing 4 starters. So are your young guys ready to step up? Do you hit the portal? Trivia, please get my receipt because I've been pushing for Nuss to have a great year. So he goes pro and brings a mobile quarterback. JTL, why does Michigan think LSU doesn't have NIL money like them? That's what Michigan podcast said last night. LSU does not have as much money as Michigan. Period, paragraph. There was something that floated around a couple of weeks ago that said LSU was like the 3rd highest funded collective with like $20 million. I will tell you point blank, that is, I know firsthand for a fact that is not true. Not something somebody told me. I am telling you, I know firsthand for a fact that is not true. LSU does not have as much money as Michigan. And fundraising has been a challenge. The thing that will help level the playing field is revenue share. And remember also, y'all, when revenue share comes into play, the athletic department will be paying out those dollars. So, in effect, I would assume that becomes public. The same way that we know how every dollar is allocated in the athletic department, because it's a public university. I would assume we'll know what players are making what. Rocky, Jessica, good morning. Excuse me. Hope y'all are doing great. Saw Chuck earlier. By the way, what's up, Chuck? Chuck Sanchez is Mr. Jessica Sanchez, by the way. Dane, gotcha, Dane. Yes, sir. Alex, Nuss about to put a hurting on the Gators. I hope you're right. Make defense great again. She Barstool hired Gruden, and Mincy, as soon as he met him, asked if he could go coach the Saints. I did see Gruden, that Barstool hired Gruden. I didn't see the Mincy thing. Brian, good morning. Ryan, Michigan screwed themselves in the Underwood situation, lost their committed quarterback. That's true. In ramping up their pursuit of Bryce Underwood, they lost the bird in hand, and now they don't have a quarterback committed. They in trouble. Now, the kid they had committed, who's from Florida, may end up getting back in the boat with Michigan. We'll see. But I agree with you. Randall, imagine Tyson in his prime against Jake Paul. Yeah, that would be bad. Mike, same 2019 December. I was dreadfully sick. Friends are bringing it up. Help with play calling. You're saying Brian Kelly helped with play calling? Okay. So yesterday, and I heard the press conference. Yesterday, at Brian Kelly's press conference, he was kind of asked an advancement of the question he was asked on Monday about evaluating Sloan and about play calling. And Kelly called plays for 20 years, he said. And he called plays as he was a head coach that called plays, did it Central Michigan and Cincinnati, and for a time at Notre Dame as well. And anyone who, I think, Rooney, I'm trying to be diplomatic here. First of all, in that answer, he did talk about how collaborative it is. And if in a game you don't think that Brian Kelly on the headset is making suggestions or saying what he wants in certain situations, you're outside of your mind. That is what head coaches do on the headset. It may be, hey, let's get Durham in the game here. Hey, run it here. Hey, I want to throw it to 2. Hey, get on the perimeter. He may not call the play specifically, but hey, we're going to go for it on 4th down. So it's 2nd and 8. We're like, you got 2 downs here. So it's going to be something in between to make a 4th and manageable. Like, that's what the head coach does in that situation. When you're in game, if you're handing the paintbrush to the offensive coordinator to paint the picture, like, you can't take it from him in the middle of the game. You have to let him do it. You work on it together. You game plan during the week, which they do. And then there's times during the game where you can direct him. Say, hey, look, I want more. You're painting the picture. Hey, look, I want more orange on this side of the canvas. Okay. So we're saying I want more balance. Fine. Yes, everybody wants more balance. But also when you're down 42-13, you're not running the ball. But if you think Brian Kelly hadn't thought like, oh, maybe I should help Joe Sloan, like, and that was just suggested to him at a press conference, come on. Like, sometimes we got to be smarter than that. I mean, Brian Kelly's been a head coach for 33 years, whatever it is. Like, you think he's never considered, oh, I've called plays for 20 years. Maybe I should help Joe Sloan. Congrats to Bryce Underwood for not selling his talents. He is selling his talents. You don't think he's getting a pile of money to come to LSU? Will Harold come back? Don't know. One thing I did like about Bama was immediate run approach. I'm with you. Get to the edge, get creative. Dale, do we have a kicker coming in that can go from 50? By the way, 76% in college is not bad. And yeah, you have Aaron Burrell. Your kickoff guy this year is a true freshman who kicks it out of the end zone every single kickoff. There's a good chance he'll be your field goal guy next year. Tony, LSU is more to offer than money to Underwood. Michigan is money. Matt, was there Saturday night your thoughts on 29 Durham only getting 20 snaps? I talked about that actually, Ryan, on my, I think it was the Monday episode of Locked On. I think I talked about it on AFR too. And Kelly was asked about it. So I agree. I think 20 snaps for Caden Durham is way too low. What's very obvious, and Brian Kelly even said this. So Josh Williams is your best blocking back. And if you pay attention to it, which most people don't, and I understand why you don't because you follow the ball, but Caden Durham's blocking grade, I spilled my coffee, this year So in the last 3 games, this is Caden Durham's pass blocking grade. Against Arkansas, 18.5. Remember, this is out of 100. Against A&M, 20.1. Against Alabama, 15.3. He was in the game on the play where Nussmeier got sacked and fumbled. So his pass blocking grade for the season is a 21.9. That's atrocious. So when you're looking to throw the ball, I hear Drew coughing, poor baby. It's tough to justify having Caden Durham in when he's a liability protecting your quarterback. So they put Josh Williams in the game. The problem with that is then you become predictable by personnel, because if Williams is in the game, the defense is going to think, oh, well, this is a pass because 18 is in the block, which is why then you try to break tendency by giving Josh Williams the football. For example, Caden Durham rips off a 45-yard run. It's 1st and goal at the 5. Who goes into the game? Josh Williams. What do you do on 1st down? You throw. What do you do on 2nd down? You hand the ball to Josh Williams. So you're not predictable. And Josh Williams loses a yard. The question you ask is, are you willing to risk or willing to sacrifice the ability to pass block from your running back to have the more dynamic player in the game and potentially becoming predictable by personnel? That's why. And then you get behind, and then you're not running the ball, and so you're passing the ball more, and then you want your best pass blocker in there. Lowell, good morning. Let's see, who's the quarterback in this class? That's Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels of their class. It's Bryce Underwood. He's committed to LSU. All right, last one. I know Josh's best pass blocker. When you don't stick with balance, what was working in the game gets out of hand. Nobody is denying that Caden Durham's your best back running the ball. But he's got to become a complete back because everything works in tandem. I mean, I'd love to have him on the field in the red zone. I wish he would have been on the field in the red zone. But he's also a liability in pass blocking. So what if you're in the red zone, you have Caden Durham in, he whiffs on a block, and you get sacked and you lose 15 yards? Well, the flip side of it is, what if you put him in there and he makes a guy miss and gets in the end zone? You make a play call and personnel grouping that you think is going to work. You never call a play thinking, oh, this has no shot of working. You do it because you think it's going to work. And then you see how it goes. All right, we're done. Thanks for being here. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Shout out to all of our great sponsors. They're linked in the description on YouTube and tagged on Facebook. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Remember, Friday night, free Friday night clinic over at Brock. All the high school athletes, good luck as the playoffs get underway. And if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. And of course, we'd love to help you out. Yeah, there's nothing we can't handle at Parrish. So if you get issue with your roof, let us know. parrishbuilt.com. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, once-a-week injections for weight loss. They got them at Unique Physique. Best prices, never any contracts. Whole thing over telemed if you'd like. And they'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country, so you don't even have to be in Baton Rouge. And, of course, Restored Motions and restoredmotions.com. All right, y'all have an awesome day.